The First World War ended in 1918. The world hoped for peace, but what followed was anything but peaceful. Germany had lost the war, and the punishment was brutal. In 1919, world leaders gathered and signed the Treaty of Versailles. Germany had to give up land, shrink its army, and pay billions in reparations. People in Germany were starving, struggling, and furious. Their pride was shattered, and in that broken nation, a fire began to grow. Meanwhile, the world tried to prevent another war. The League of Nations was created, a group of countries meant to keep peace. But without America's support and without real power, it was more like a suggestion box than a shield. When trouble started, the League could do little more than write letters. In Italy, a man named Benito Mussolini promised strength and glory. In 1922, he marched into power and introduced fascism, a system where the state controls everything and the people are expected to obey. Italy cheered. Back in Germany, a man named Adolf Hitler watched. He had fought in World War I, he hated the Treaty of Versailles, and he believed Germany deserved more. He began speaking in beer halls, shouting about revenge, pride, and a better future. People listened. By 1933, Hitler was in charge, and democracy in Germany was dead. Then came the crash. In 1929, the US stock market collapsed. The Great Depression swept across the globe. Banks closed, factories stopped, and millions were jobless. People lost faith in their leaders. They didn't want freedom, they wanted food. And they turned to the loudest voices, dictators who promised action. Far from Europe, Japan was on a mission. In 1931, they invaded Manchuria in China. The world was shocked, but again, the League of Nations did nothing. Encouraged, Japan became more aggressive, launching a full war with China in 1937. At the same time, Spain descended into civil war. On one side were the Republicans, hoping to protect democracy. On the other, the nationalists, led by a military general named Francisco Franco. Hitler and Mussolini supported Franco. They used Spain as a testing ground for planes, bombs, and tactics. It was like a dress rehearsal for something bigger. And then, Hitler made his move. In 1936, he sent troops into the Rhineland, a region he wasn't allowed to enter. No one stopped him. In 1938, he took over Austria. The world stayed silent. Later that year, he demanded a piece of Czechoslovakia, the Sudetenland. Britain and France, desperate to avoid another war, gave in. They thought they had bought peace, but Hitler was never going to stop. In 1939, he invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia, and then he made a secret deal with the Soviet Union. They agreed to split Poland between them. On September 1st, 1939, German tanks rolled into Poland. In just days, the world was at war again. Britain and France declared war on Germany. World War II had officially begun. It didn't happen overnight. It built slowly, through humiliation, silence, fear, and ambition. The world tried to keep peace, but by the time they realized the danger, it was too late. That's how the ashes of World War I lit the fire of World War II.